I am Nick Shell, the true alpha male, the living legend of hair loss, and your personal hairline hero. Let's address this comment. So much of my videos are just me reflecting your own interest in, let's face it, your own insecurities. You need a secure alpha male, such as myself, older in life experience and maturity, who can help serve as your internet dad. That's right. Your dad is not involved enough in your life as he should be. He doesn't realize his son is obsessing over the fear of hair loss. He doesn't realize his son is daily consuming pornography, which is only further toxically rewiring the natural thinking of a man who's now obsessing, a young man who's obsessing over himself and his image instead of actually being confident in who he is and knowing that life is about other people, helping other people. It's not about you. It's about getting over yourself and realizing I become relevant the moment I become relevant to other people and I focus on their needs. You don't have a dad like that, but in me you do. I am Nick Shell, your internet dad / alpha male. Here we go. Checking out a comment on a video that was called Receding Hairline Planning Post COVID-19 Haircut. Should I raise my part? So here's one from Baldcel Rick's Gamer. Quote, "Hey Nick, got a question that maybe would be a good video idea. What do you think of the incel community?" This was my response. Quote, "They are troubling and disturbed. My next 3 videos I'm publishing tomorrow just so happens to be about this topic." End quote. I was actually referring to the videos that I had made talking about people who I call MGTOWs, people who, AKA hair transplant defenders. They seem to be of the same group. But specifically incels. I guess I got to keep this video short because I want it to be in the title, but YouTube will immediately discredit this video. They won't promote it and they will not allow me to make money from it because incel is a dirty word. I can now say COVID-19, but I can't say incel, Jew, Muslim, definitely can't say gay. There's several things I can't say. I can't say incel, so I'll make this short. But yeah, that's ultimately what it comes down to. Incels are disturbed people, is what they are. They're psychologically damaged. I'm not saying they can't be repaired, but they're people who desperately need to see a psychiatrist. They're people who were psychologically wounded as a child or a teenager. Something happened to them. And it's very similar, if you ask me, Joe Rogan was talking about this. When you look at pedophiles, try to find a pedophile that was not sexually abused themselves when they were young. Try to find one. You're not gonna find one, because the reason pedophiles exist is because they were unfortunately abused when they were children. And I think it's similar in that concept to incels. Something really traumatic happened to them, and so therefore they cannot think rationally. They need psychiatric help. So therefore hair loss, or the fear of hair loss, becomes an instant trigger for them to obsess over, because they haven't learned how to deal with what happened to them when they were young. So when it comes to incels, that's what we're actually dealing with. That's why I've had incels, leave plenty of comments. The most disturbing one was the one who commented to a video about, they were saying, it wasn't even about hair loss, but they were saying that they're 5'8". And it wasn't a trolling comment. They were being serious because they kept bringing it up. It was the only thing they ever talked about. I can tell the difference between someone trolling me and I. Keeping in mind I'm 5'9". So this guy's 5'8", and he was legitimately saying that he is considering castrating himself chemically, so that and or training himself to be gay so that he could be with men, because no woman will ever like him if he's only 5'8". Just imagine the logic there. Again, I'm 5'9", so I'm sorry, I'm 5'9", if he's 5'8", so really an inch difference in height is all it takes to be like, oh, maybe I should castrate myself, or maybe I should, quote, train myself to be gay. See, that thinking is completely irrational. But we see similar thinking with guys watching my videos who are obsessing over hair loss, saying that no woman will ever love them because they're Norwood 2 at age 18, or whatever thing it is. Meanwhile, plenty of guys that went bald young, they have very attractive wives or girlfriends or whatever. We know that it's very flawed logic coming from an incel or a Baldcel specific. We know that. That's why one of Nick Shell's mottos is never try to rationalize with an irrational person. Never try to reason with someone who's being irreasonable. When we see someone who is an incel, we recognize that. I can't cure them. Only a psychiatrist could help somebody like a professional could help them like that. I can recognize who's an incel. I am not qualified to help them. But I will say this for the rest of you who are not incels. Be careful yourself, because, as I've said before, it's okay as a teenager to be thinking, oh no, what if I go bald? People only love me for my looks. Nobody loves you for your looks. They love you because you help them with their own problems and you're kind and helpful. That's why they actually like you. They don't like you because of your looks. That's not how it actually works. But when you're a boy, you think that way. As you get older, you realize the truth, which is what I just said. The real issue is when a guy gets past the age of 30 and is still thinking like a boy. That's when we're getting into danger of becoming an incel or a Baldcel. That's why I can't tell everybody. I'm worried about the people in their 30s watching my videos who need to hear this stuff. Because they may be getting close to the point of no return, where they're going to ultimately be a Baldcel or one of those blue pill, red pill, MGTOW people, a hair transplant defender. That's what territory we get into. So if you're a teenager, it's okay that you're thinking that, but I'm your internet dad. I'm here to help you get out of that, to be cured, so you don't end up in your 30s still worrying, thinking that women won't love you because of your hair loss and need to become castrated and train yourself to be gay and start loving men instead. It's a slippery slope. There is a path to becoming an incel, and I do believe a lot of incels have trauma that they've never dealt with. So maybe what you should consider is, do you have trauma in your life? Did something happen to you that you never dealt with a professional? I would say that would need to happen. Otherwise, you're going to end up an incel. You're on that path. Get off the path. Deal with a professional, a psychiatrist, someone who could help you that out, help you sort all of that out. Because the way the incel thinks is the problem. They can take any little flaw and make it the whole basis on why people don't like them. That's mentally disturbed. That's mental illness. And it needs to be dealt with a professional, which I'm not. I'm just a random guy on the internet who can recognize some of the people leaving comments are in that situation. But it's a matter of looking at the psychological root. Again, pedophiles are not born that way. Lady Gaga can't sing a song, the next verse in her song saying born this way about pedophiles. They're not born that way. They were abused as children and they will repeat that. That's where they come from. Similar concept with incels. Some kind of disturbing thing happened to them. I'm not sure what it was. It's different for each. They never sorted that out. Their processing of problems never matured past. It's like they got stunted when that bad thing happened to them. You got to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Your comments belong right here.